Okay, right. Each expression has a sum or difference of logarithms. And that means that the highest power that you're going to see is 1. So I look to see, and who's in control, and whose control is that division. So the first step is to write this as log base 2 of the numerator subtract log base 2 of the denominator. And of course that's going to be the reverse of property 2. And now A has an exponent of 1, but B has an exponent of 2. So that means I can bring the exponents down. So this becomes log base 2 of A subtract 2 log base 2 of B, and that's going to be property 3. And then everybody has exponents of 1. So then that becomes your final answer. Thank you very much. Now what you might notice is this. And what that is, and I don't want you to worry about that, at least not now, this is the domain of that expression. Because remember that you have that what you're taking the logarithm of must be positive. And you're going to say, well, b squared is always positive. But when I rewrite it in this form, b itself has to be positive. So that's why they restrict b to positive here. So if I want to say that these two things right here are equal to each other, then you have to make sure that the domain is correct for both of them. So they have to encompass the same domain. Here I could have b be anything other than 0, because if you square it, it's always positive. But unfortunately, when I write it in this format, b can't be 0. So that's why they did this. So when you see this beside the problem, what it's doing is pointing out the domain for which this thing is true. And I don't want you to worry about it. Now the first thing that I'm going to do with this guy is rewrite him in a form that I can work with him. And that is to take this square root and rewrite it in terms of exponents, because it is an exponent. I'm going to rewrite this as the natural log of x times 1 plus x squared, that's the radicand, to the 1/2 power. Because square root is 1/2. Now I have the product of two things. So in this case, this was a rewrite. It's the natural log of the first factor plus the natural log of the second factor. And that's property 1. This x has an exponent of 1, this has an exponent of 1/2, so that means I need to bring the 1/2 down in front to finish the problem. So the natural log of x plus 1/2 times 1 plus x squared, natural log of 1 plus x squared, and this is property 3. That's the natural log squeezed in there. Now, if this were 1 minus x squared, I wouldn't be done because it factored. But 1 plus x squared doesn't. So that then becomes your answer. And again, it says x must be positive. Well, if you think about it, this x has to be positive because you're multiplying. 1 plus x squared is always positive, so it doesn't matter. But what forces this to be my domain is this guy right here.